So I have been being very, very conscious of my attention recently. I've been very conscious of being able to keep my attention on God, trying to keep my attention on God. But as Christians, I think we all realize that it is not easy to do that. There is times that come up where it is very, very blatant that it is very hard to keep your attention on Jesus throughout the day. Because we will be feeling good. Maybe we'll read a devotional. Maybe we'll read the Bible. Maybe we'll pray in the morning before we're going anywhere. But then all of a sudden you get hit with 1, 2, 3 punch right after you step out the door. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, like what the hell? Like you're not thinking about Jesus. You're thinking about all these things that are distracting you. We're pulled into this. And all of a sudden we start to feel bad. Like, oh my gosh, is it that easy just to forget about Jesus? Is it that easy for me to just not think about Jesus within 2 steps out my front door? But I've realized that it really is a damn battle. It really is a damn battle. And I think if we start looking at it as a battle, maybe we could change our perspective on it and be able to be a little bit more nice on ourselves and give ourselves a little bit more grace, just like Jesus Christ would do. Because I was listening to this TED Talk, and in this TED Talk, the dude was talking about attention. He was talking about attention and how it very much is something that we have to train. We have to program our mind on what we want it to focus on throughout our days. And one of the examples he gave is that our attention is like a flashlight. But it's like if you were in nature, you had a flashlight, which is your attention. You could focus on this beautiful hummingbird that's being birthed, just the beauty of birth, all this stuff. But everything else, the media, negativity of the world, it wants to take your flashlight and it wants to shine it over here at a snake absolutely strangling a rat. And it wants you to keep your attention on that fear of, oh my gosh, look at this. Yes, we understand that stuff is out there. We're not naive. We know that this stuff is out there. But are we going to want to pump our mind with it 10 hours a day just feeling like that, man? Y'all ever been to a horror movie? You go to the horror movie and all of a sudden you come back home and that normal, amazing feeling that you've had, that sense of safety, security, all of a sudden you start looking at your closet differently. You start looking at under your bed differently. You start looking at everything differently. So why are we going to want to pump our mind with that constantly, man? So this is just, I think it helped me understand that, our attention is something that we can train. We choose what we want to put our attention to. We can still prepare ourselves for these bad things out there in the world, but we can also focus on the day-to-day of the love and peace and hope and joy of Jesus freaking Christ. So what if we could actually just start training our attention? What if we could start putting it towards Jesus? Now, how do we freaking do that? That's the tough part, man. I think we have to realize that it's not freaking easy. It's not easy. But if we could just try maybe 1, 2, 3 things throughout our day that can help us try to put our attention on Jesus. Like, let's say one of the things I'm trying right now is saying Jesus' name out loud. If you ever feel stressed, anxious, anything like that, just say Jesus' name out loud and he will be upon you, man. Imagining that Jesus is right next to you. Like, he could be on the couch next to you. He could be on a chair next to you. He could be right behind you while you're brushing your teeth. Anything like that. Imagining Jesus like that. Another thing I'm trying right now is putting a little sticky note on my mirror that asks me, how well did I love people today based on wanting to please Jesus above all? That is something that trains my attention. Every time I see that, every time I brush my teeth, every time I go to the restroom, anything like that, is something there that allows me to see how well am I focusing my attention on Jesus? How well am I loving and feeling that love? It's just little things that start to try to work it into your subconscious, work it into your attention, and make you feel that overwhelming feeling of love, joy, and peace. So these are just some things I'm trying. I'm not saying that they work for everybody. I'm not saying that they work the best. I'm sure that I'm going to continue to find new and new ways. But maybe we could try out one thing today that helps us keep our attention on Jesus, helps us try out and see how well we currently are keeping our attention on Jesus. And I think if we keep asking ourselves that question day after day, maybe slowly but surely we start to pull our flashlight and get more control on it. Not pointing it even at the hummingbird, we're pointing it at the Heavenly Father, because he is the best thing that we can point our flashlight at every single day. And all of a sudden, when we're focused on this, everything else looks beautiful. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing day. Hope you're doing great today. Hope you're keeping your attention on Jesus today. Let me know what you're going to try today. I love you guys. Hope you have an amazing day, week. Peace.